We've seen that if we have a constant function like y equals 1, it looks like this, just a straight horizontal line. Now if we increase the degree of this by 1, so right now this is a 0th degree polynomial, if we up it by 1, we get something like y equals x, which takes that horizontal line and just rotates it. Now it has a non-zero slope. Now if we increase the power by 1 more, we get a parabola, a quadratic function. And we know if we increase it by 1 more once again, we get this really cool cubic function. Now you just saw your first higher order polynomial in the last quiz, and I think that we should focus on one of these in particular for right now. Let's look at the graph of y equals x to the 5th minus x. Let's just look at the overall appearance of this function and then build up some information about polynomial functions in general based on that. We saw a big picture of this graph earlier, showing a pretty big range on the y-axis and a pretty big part of the domain on the x. But now I've zoomed into the middle, where some of the most interesting stuff is happening. Remember that the ends of the graph, this way and this way, were just sort of continuing on for a long time in the same direction. So it seems like all the changes are happening in here. Because this is the only area where things are changing, we can split the domain into sections based on what's happening in here. Now I see one change happening right around here, and another change happening right around here. So with these lines, I have effectively divided the domain into 3 chunks, 3 different intervals. Now let's label these intervals interval 1, interval 2, and interval 3. It also seems like there are 2 special points, these 2 right here. I'll color them in this bright blue color and label them points A and B. These are of course the points where these lines separating the parts of the domain from one another intersect the graph of our function. So let's talk about what the graph looks like within each of these intervals and why these 2 points are special. Now first of all, can you tell me in which of these intervals the graph is increasing and in which of them the graph is decreasing? And second, which of these 2 points is a relative maximum and which one is a relative minimum?